What's going on, everyone? It's On the Floor with Liv and Core. I'm Core, that's Liv. And we got Scott Bregman on the episode for today because, you know what? We're not even doing a splits and giggles episode with Scott. We are doing the NCAA Championship preview. We have a big week ahead of us in Fort Worth, Texas. So we thought we'd hop on ahead of the week because it's going to get busy when we all get to Fort Worth. We just wanted to hop on and give our predictions and our thoughts because there are some storylines to follow. Okay. So, Olivia, you're going to be show director today. I need you to take us through the show in whatever order you choose, which would probably be in what? Olympic
Olympic
order.
order. Come on, Scott. That was a tee up. You should have.
Oh, Olympic order.
My gosh.
My
I did see that show live in Ann Arbor for the Big Ten Championships when you guys nailed it on the floor, and you did have that little uh, bit in there. But I'm sorry, I didn't
It's
catch
okay.
this.
We'll forgive you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Okay, Olivia, take it over.
Okay, so we're gonna to save us all time because we all have to pack and get ourselves ready to go.
I'm already
We are.
packed.
Hmm.
I know you are. You've probably been packed since Saturday.
Oh, you mean your
We're
taxes are done, Bregman?
Oh, paid my taxes this morning, packed my bag. We're ready to go.
Look at you. I'm so impressed.
I know.
Okay, so we're gonna intro session one. So we're gonna just walk through OU, Mizzou, Bama, Florida from a team perspective. I'm gonna give us 7 minutes, okay? Then we're gonna do session two, same thing, UCLA, Utah, MSU, LSU.
The
Wild.
craziest session of your whole life.
We're gonna talk about that. Then we'll go into individuals, and then we're going to conclude by giving our predictions of four on the floor individuals, team champion. So we're gonna pack it in.
Let's go.
Okay. Everyone ready? Beginning the clock. Okay. Let's begin with session one. OU, Mizzou, Bama, Florida. Scott, do you have initial thoughts on this session?
Well, I mean, just a minute ago, you were reading those off to me, both sessions off to me off camera, and I was shocked. I hadn't really thought through what the second session is, and I know we're going to talk about that in a second, but it's insane. Second session's insane. The first session, there's a lot of competition, and it's gymnastics, and all of those teams will have to do balance beam and try to stick their vaults and all of those things. But I think if you were any of the eight teams, you'd want to be in that first session the way they were drawn up.
Correct. The way that Alabama, pulled off the upset to be able to make it into nationals, I think is something to be talked about. Then I also think just looking at the rotation order, I'll just give you my notes. Very interesting that Oklahoma will end on vault, which
Nothing bad's ever happened there.
no, which those that know the lore, it's we hope that they do something different than they did in 2024. That's all I have to say. Um, I also think Missouri starting on floor, they had that rotation twice at regionals, so they're pretty used to that. And I think floor is a great momentum starter for them. But then again, at regionals, that last rotation, it came down to first person fell on beam, but they do finish with Helen Who. So that's a really great lineup moment for them. Florida starting on balance beam, uh, ending on bars. They have thrown down over 49.5 plus bar rotations this season here in the postseason. So I think that's also one that can like really zip up into those top two positions at the end. And then Alabama has Olympic order. So I think, that's a routine, that's a feeling that they have going into all of it. And I think it's really, I have to say, it feels a little like it's anyone's game in that first semifinal.
Yeah, I feel like at regionals, Oklahoma was like, oh, we're back. We're OU. We're up there. There's no doubt in our mind. But, I can't speak for them. But if I were in their position having what happened last year, I would be nervous to go back. And it's a little bit of a different game when you're back in that arena and the last time you were there, it didn't go the way you wanted. So it is interesting that they're ending on vault. I'm very fascinated by Florida starting on beam because they have a great beam team, but it's a matter of I don't know if they have started on beam this year, and that doesn't necessarily mean something isn't going to go their way, but it is a different rotation for them. So I am interested to see how they handle the nerves early on with Skylar Drazer first. I think she's a really solid leadoff, but it is going to be interesting with them starting over there.
Yeah, I think they started on beam at the SEC championships list that they're
Oh,
ranked
okay.
team there, but I might be wrong. No, I agree with you guys. I think the last rotation could be really crazy with Michigan State on, no, sorry, I'm on the wrong session with who's ending on floor? Let me try that again. Edit this
Bama,
out.
Bama.
I think the last rotation could be really interesting because I don't think you can even count out Bama. They have been peaking at the right time and they're ending on floor. But I don't know, with Missouri on beam, with Helen, that's kind of like an insurance policy. Now I've jinxed her, of course, but um, yeah, I think it could be really interesting. I do think it's going to be pretty straightforward in the end, and I kind of expect OU and Florida to kind of advance. But like you said, they have to start on beam, and they do have some younger routines in that given the loss of Sloan and the Sky is even though she's a freshman, I feel like she has the experience of someone much older, given that she's been to two world championships. She's not ready, hasn't been in the lineup anyway. So no Kayla, obviously on any event. So there is a little bit of a younger lineup, and they've moved a lot of people in and out and are all over. So could be interesting, but if they get through Beam, I would expect the top two to just kind of sail through at this point.
One last thing of note on this one is in the fourth rotation, each of the teams on the events that they're on have an athlete that has scored a 10 on that event. So Jordan Bowers on vault, um, right? She got a 10 at regionals, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Jordan Bowers on vault. We have the 10s that happen at SECs on bars for Florida. We have Kennedy Griffin. No, sorry, Helen Hu winning, getting a 10 on beam. And then we have Lily Hudson, I believe, earlier in the season, got a 10 on floor. So I think that's cool. I think from a fan perspective, it's going to be a fun rotation to watch. But yeah, what an interesting semifinal one.
I will say one thing about Bama ending on floor is they were funky on floor earlier in the year. They had a lot of random floor mistakes that when you go to floor, usually you think just kind of stay in bounds and control your landings. And obviously now there's much more intention on leaps than before. But it is interesting because you would think, oh, ending on floor, great. But they have had some little bumps in the road earlier on in the year. So I am interested. And they've been playing a bit with that lineup, the first couple people too. So it'll be cool to see who they end up putting in that moment, given how the other three events go. So we'll
Well,
see.
and they even had a hiccup on floor at the regional final. Their
That's
first
right.
their first woman up did one and a half supposed to do one and a half run full, I think, and bailed on did like a one and a half kind of scoot around that we've seen a couple of times this season and only went 9.5. So they were able to
That's
drop
right.
that obviously, but that was as recent as 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Do we want to talk about the individuals in that rotation or in that semifinal while we're here?
Sure.
Okay. Addie
You're
Wall.
messing up my system a little bit, but I'll let it
Well,
slide.
I mean, it just feels
Eek.
right as I
Yeah,
look
it
at it.
feels right. It feels right.
Um, Addie Wall and Lily Smith. Addie Wall is doing vault as an individual. Lily Smith will be doing floor as an individual. I mean, Lily Smith on floor is beautiful. I mean, finishing with that split with the, lifted leg in the front is just a picture worth a thousand words.
As
Uh,
Kathy Johnson Clark would say, put it on a stamp.
Hmm.
exactly. Probably a horizontal stamp because it's
Those
legs for
exist.
days. It's amazing. It's beautiful.
Do you think Lily Smith knows what a stamp is? Do kids know what stamps are these days?
We should ask her.
Amazing. That's amazing. Okay, we have our Denver Queens in this semifinal. So we have Madison Ulrich is doing the all around. We have Rosie Casali doing vault. Yes, and we have Riley Mundell doing bars. They're all great athletes for Denver, and rightfully so, are on events that they should be doing. Rosie stuck that vault at the Utah Regional, and it was beautiful and amazing. So one can only hope that she's in rotation too, doing that vault. So I think that we can warm up, stay a little bit warm, stay a little bit up. She's rotating with Missouri, which I think is fun. And I think that'll be a really great vault rotation too to like finish off on. Mary McDonough is in the all around. She's qualified from Washington, which is amazing because she was an individual competitor at regionals and then qualified to nationals as an individual competitor. So amazing for her.
She had such a great meet at regionals. I want her to carbon copy and paste it because it was so good. I mean, she drilled the vault. Her lines are so beautiful. I would just love to see her have that meet again. It was so great.
Agreed. Then our Auburn friends, so Olivia Greaves on bars, really good for her, and then Gabby McLaughlin on beam. Um, Great events for both of them. Brinley Anderson from BYU will be doing balance beam as well. And I left the queen for last. In our first rotation of the entire meet on floor will be Maya Hooten from Minnesota throwing down her iconic floor routine. And you know what? We have been chatting and we are crossing our fingers and our toes because if I'm throwing down my last floor routine of my life, I want to do my favorite floor routine. And to me, I know Hooten's favorite floor routine is her sophomore year iconic whistle routine, walk with the fist in the air routine. I would die if she threw that down for her last routine ever.
I would love it so much.
Let's hope. I do want to say not about Maya, who I do love, but about Olivia Greaves. I think it's just such an accomplishment. She has been like I don't think like I think there were certain years where you're like, "Ooh, I don't know if she's like ever gonna be able to compete, and much less like she's on multiple events for them. So to make it this far, she's been through a lot. Is excited. I will say Auburn related. I am sad that Paige Zancan is not here because she's one of my favorites, and I love that vault. But and I guess she stuck it in the national in the regional semifinal or the regional final, but not the semifinal. So that's why she's not here. But she's one of my favorites. But I am so excited for Olivia Greaves. She's just been through a lot to get back to this moment.
That's a great note.
She did the all around for the first time this season when she got this spot to qualify to nationals. So they put her in, I believe that they put her in the vault lineup last minute. She was a lineup switch. And then she did her first all around performance. And honestly, the only reason I know that is because she was sitting at the table at the press conference after the regional semifinal when they had qualified. So that was a note we had made there. But I think there's some great individuals in here. I think one can only hope we see in terms of like champion out of that. I'm like,
You're ahead of my schedule.
okay, sorry, move on.
I do want to make a note about Gabby McLaughlin, though, is I love her and I've equated her like technique and style to Catalina Ponor because it's very like sharp and aggressive, and I love that. But when you get nervous, sometimes that sharp and aggressive can create more wobbles and nerves. So I hope she's like relaxed and enjoys, and we can just see her do that aggressive beam work because I just really love it. So I am looking forward to that routine.
I love it. Okay, let's follow your schedule.
Follow my schedule. Okay, let's go to semifinal two. Okay, UCLA, Utah, Michigan State, LSU. The bloodbath of all bloodbaths.
I need a deep breath already.
Corey, where does everyone start? Walk us through that, and then we can provide, you know.
Okay, rotation one, Michigan State starts on vault. LSU on bars. Utah will have their beam rotation first. And UCLA will do their floor party first rotation up.
That's sort
Interesting.
of interesting, yeah, because I know I'm not worried about Utah starting. I'm not worried about Utah doing beam in any rotation just because they're so solid there. But I guess at least it's in the second subdivision or second semifinal. But going first, sometimes the scores are a little bit tighter, and that applies then, of course, to UCLA, whose final three gymnasts had scored tens probably. Most of I think they have more. A couple of them have for sure. Jordan and Brooklyn. So that's sort of interesting. I don't know. That's tough to start on your best event.
For sure. I
I
mean,
was thinking the same. Even like if Michigan State sticks vaults
Well,
early
yeah,
on,
Michigan State too. That's also their best event. Yeah, it's
right?
tough.
That's going to be fascinating if they stick vaults early on because, right, that's the first rotation. And so there's obviously three more vault rotations to go. But then that would also be the standard of, you would assume, of vaults. But we know how scoring rolls. So it is interesting with all those teams starting where they are and then LSU starting on bars. I'm not going to say it's their weakest event, but it's like I don't think they have a weak event, but they have stronger events.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't call bars their best event though.
Exactly.
Obviously they're great on bars, but it's not their best.
Exactly.
This is gonna be a crazy gymnastics meet. That's
Yeah.
all I have to say. Like, that's all I can say. I keep looking at this rotation order and I'm like, rotation one, buckle up. Rotation two, I hope you're still buckled up. You know what I mean? And I just feel that way the entire meet. Um, you know, I don't know that the top four teams are in this meaning the top four from regionals qualified into this session. And so this is what the ranking system creates. This is what the bracket system creates because they were all on that side of the bracket. I think all of those things in terms of where our sport is and what we want to educate fans on, it all makes sense. It does. And the only thing I really can say about this, like we could get into the nitty-gritty of unique moments that are going to happen within this particular semifinal. But we've heard it from some people that we've interviewed this week. The two best teams in this semifinal are going to be the teams that walk in, know that they're undeniable, have the best mindset, and just go and do what they do best. And if there's any slip up, it's gonna cost them because all four of these teams could be in four on the floor together. That's the thing. So I just think this is gonna be a gift to gymnastics fans everywhere because it's gonna be some amazing gymnastics.
Yeah. I think it's just like it's crazy because I think all these teams are capable of a 198. And if you look back just at regionals, Michigan State almost beat LSU. I think they were half a tenth back, and I think they're a dangerous team coming in as they had a kind of a midseason slump, and so I think that their ranking doesn't quite reflect certainly the quality of gymnastics they put up in the regional final. And they also it'll be interesting to see how what their mindset is because they could come in feeling some pressure, knowing like, hey, we almost beat LSU, we could definitely make the final, but they could also come in thinking, it's the first time since 1988 that we made nationals and second time in program history. We got nothing to lose and then go crazy. So, and that's those storylines all over this session. Obviously, LSU's defending champion. Utah has just been solid, 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 but they haven't, I feel like they think it's time that they win a title again. It's been a long time. And then UCLA, of course, has just totally just rebounded and come back from a place where we weren't used to seeing Utah in terms of ranking and finishes to be, I think the fifth ranked team heading into nationals. So this is going to be wild, and I'm scared already.
The last thing I will say is that there are two teams in this semifinal that were not at nationals last year. So I hope that they get their like shock and awe jitters out at podium training so that they can come in and just know that they belong and they are there and that they can go and throw down great gymnastics. Because that shock and awe, it could be that moment that like, you know, too many fans or too many eyeballs or on the biggest stage, it can maybe set them off. But I mean, I don't think that's going to happen from, the cast and crew of a Michigan State and a UCLA. You saw Michigan State rise up in the dual meet that they had against UCLA, first meet ever on Fox. Like they showed up. They absolutely showed up. So I think that the attention piece of it isn't going to get them, but it is to be said that there are two teams that were not here. And like we had the emotional moment we saw from Frida Esparza after regionals. She's like, I'm going to my first nationals ever, right? That's a weight that you feel and but you also have to like dig into your soul and say, no, I'm just going to go and do my thing.
I mean, more so than the first session. I think any hop or step that happens, you need another team to hop or step to stay. I mean, any hop or step on any landing, any wobble, like this is one of those where you can easily catch up with how behind or ahead you'll be based on head-to-head landings. I really believe that. And we say it all the time that like the team that sticks the most vaults is going to win or whatever. UCLA didn't stick the most vaults at Big Tens. MSU did, and UCLA did win, and they have that edge on floor, but they're starting on floor and not ending on it. So that's also an So I think it really depends. But like vault is really where you can give away the most on landings. And I think MSU and LSU have really shown this year that they can dial it in. And I think Utah and UCLA have in certain capacities, but it'll be interesting to see if they can truly like put it all together when they really need to put it all together.
Wild. Okay.
Wild.
You want to do a deep dive on these individuals?
Yeah, let's go individuals.
Okay, Kaya Forbes from North Carolina will be doing vault in the first rotation. Um, Great athlete for UNC. Awesome to see an athlete from UNC at nationals. We love that. Um, Sophia Diaz from Michigan will also be vaulting in the second rotation. Um, we have Maddie Williams on bars from Cal. She'll be I mean, well deserved. I mean, those bars from Maddie. Are you joking? We have Maddie Jones from Arkansas also on bars, and she's been very consistent with a really great bar routine as well, and can score well. Isabella Magnelli from Kentucky, a beautiful beam worker. She's going to be doing beam with in the Michigan State lineup, which is great. We have Kreslin Bros from Kentucky. She'll be doing floor, which she earned a 10 earlier this season on floor on their senior night, which amazing. Then our queen Maya Lazan is going to be starting the day in the first rotation on floor and then finishing the day in the fourth rotation on balance beam. Good potential. I wish that she was later in the meet on floor, truthfully, but I'm so happy that we're gonna have that double full rounding out the competition on balance beam. And then our all-arounders in this semifinal. Talk about just an amazing semifinal. We have Jocelyn Robertson from Arkansas doing the all-around. She will be closing out each of Utah's lineups, which feels kind of good, honestly. I think that vault, that floor routine, that beam, there's that beam could be something to be said of the way that she's been throwing down beam. And then you guys, Jade Carey in this semifinal evening session all around competition. So I told you I wouldn't give predictions, but that's
I
my
mean, even these individuals is wild too. I mean, oh my gosh, the session is crazy on so many different levels. Um, I do think that who does Maddie Williams it is with UCLA and Maya Lazan is with UCLA.
all of
I
the blue and gold girlies are together.
That's right. I think I like Lazan at the like after Jordan on floor. Like I like that.
Yeah.
I like that from a scoring potential and
Yeah,
I
that's a
like that
good
from
point.
a vibes potential. And I think she is a super icy beamer. So I think it's kind of awesome that she'll conclude the meet on beam. It could be nerve-wracking, but I feel like for her it's not. So I don't know. I particularly really like that for her in this meet.
How about
Yeah.
Jade
Well,
ending on vault?
I
Oh,
mean, I want Jade. This is crazy, and I'm sure. Well, I was gonna say I'm sure Jade doesn't care that she's never won an NCAA title, but actually, she probably really does care. And it's crazy to me that she doesn't have an NCAA title. I was looking this up today as I was writing my preview for Olympics.com. Go read it. And she has, I think, four runner-up finishes, including in the all-around ones, and a third place on one of the apparatus another year. So she has just like, she's got to earn it and she's got to do it on the day. That's how sports work. I get it. But she has just been unbelievable as an NCAA athlete. Like, I, I don't know if she's ever fallen. I'm sure someone knows, maybe one of you too, but she just has been so spectacular and so fabulous for that program. And has been the all-around leader, I think, all season long, has been undefeated this season. So, um, I hope it works out for her. And then, I can't stop talking before I get a little Maya Lozan, Maddie Williams love in. I could see, I think it's gonna be tough for Maya to win floor, but I could see Maddie winning bars. I could see Maya winning beam, and I would love it because my personal opinion, I'm not not a judge, but and you guys can come for me. I don't care. I think that Cal was robbed, and I've said it once, and I'm saying it again. And they should be there as a team. That was an unfortunate, egregious scoring, in my humble opinion. So maybe we can make up for it with two individual titles. Though I don't think I think they would throw those away in the garbage to have the team there. So, but it is
Hmm.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, you're not alone in your
I
sentiment.
didn't think I was,
No,
standing
you're in
out
good
in the rain
company.
by myself, but it's like it's so frustrating to see. There's obviously been some efforts to adjust the scoring, and I think what happened at regionals, not just at the Bama regional, but I think that was the worst one. Kind of shows the need for some kind of reform, and I don't know what that looks like exactly. Obviously, this is about nationals and what's happening at nationals, and I'm sure that we'll have lots of discussions about that in the offseason and in the preseason. So,
Yeah, we definitely will. But shall we give our in the chronology of this competition, we will let's crown our individuals, then we'll give our four on the floor prediction, and then we'll give our national champion prediction. So let's begin with our vault champion prediction. Does everyone want to say one person and then we can gab about it?
Jade Carey.
Corey,
Vault. This is our vault prediction.
this is our vault prediction.
Haley Bryant finishing on vault.
She's got a stick, and she
I
hasn't
think
much
Kaylin
this year.
Chiu,
Hmm.
that girl has glue on those feet. It's wild. So I'm going to go with her.
Okay.
Honorable
And she-
mention, Nikki Smith.
Ooh.
Great honorable mention.
Yeah, I would like that.
It's a great honorable mention.
Due for a stick, that's for sure.
She's
Like,
stuck at regional
oh,
finals.
sorry, due for like consistent sticks, right? Like
Mm,
at the beginning of the season, all the way leading up until the UCLA duel, like that vault lineup was like solid, and Nikki was like, she's gonna stick again. Like we know it. Like
right.
it's just gonna happen.
Yeah, those are all good candidates. Let's swing to bars. We heard Scott's. Do you want to add an
My
additional one?
I would say my heart says and wants Maddie Williams. That routine has been perfect a lot of times this season. The other one would be Audrey Davis. And I think I've gotten into this before on this very podcast. I don't quite understand why we've decided that her dismount is uh, like there are a lot of gymnasts in this competition that have a built-in deduction on their dismounts that aren't taken as long as they don't move their feet on the landing. And I'm not exactly sure why we've decided that what Audrey does is unforgivable, and that's the one deduction we won't turn our eyes away from, because there are a lot of deductions that the judges will turn their eyes away from. So my heart wants Maddie. My brain says it might be Audrey. I think she won last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
Corey, I can go if you need to think.
Yeah, you go. I'm between two.
I my heart wants Frida. I think Mara Teacherasole has a very high chance of getting it. If she can do that routine the way she's done it, and the toe point and the double tuck, it's so precise. I would love for Mara to win it.
Okay, so I was between Mara and Audrey. Um, I'm gonna go Audrey.
I mean, I don't not want Andre to win it.
I
Let's be
know. Yeah,
clear.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to offer some differentials, but yes, I agree. I think it'd be so awesome for her to shut everyone up.
yeah.
I mean, she already has. She's won the bar title already. And to your point, Scott, like, why did we decide this is something that can never be forgiven? But it would be awesome for her to end her career with the bars title to just be like, bye.
For the record, I don't think it should be forgiven, but because there are other mistakes that are being forgiven, that's where my issue comes.
That's I agree
Just for
completely.
the record.
Agreed. Let's move on to the balance beam.
Hmm.
I'm sticking my heart and my head are aligned on this one. Maya Lozon, she can do that routine with zero deduction, and I hope she does.
I want her and Helen to tie.
Ooh, I'll accept it.
I'm stacking hands on that opinion.
Great.
Glad we're all aligned. Moo!
What's amazing about it is like, with the exception of Brinley Anderson, which who will go after Helen Hu in the fourth rotation of semifinal one, Maya and Helen will be back half of the lineup last event of the whole meet.
Do you think Missouri's ever had an NCAA champion in gymnastics?
Oh, that's a great question.
I don't know if they have.
Must research.
Correct.
Oh gosh.
All right, let's go to floor.
Jordan
Scotty,
Giles.
I would love for Brooklyn to be up there too. I mean, I really would. Um, I think your guess is correct. I would love to see, I mean, with the difficulty Jade has, I would love to see her up there too. I it would be fun to see Joss get a floor title. Maybe she has a couple years left in her to just tighten some stuff up, but I would love to see how she scores. My heart wants Hooten. I know she's early on in the meet, so it's tough, but I think you're so is Jordan, but I think your instinct is right.
I think Jordan will get 5 or 6 tens if she lands decently. So that'll be tough to beat.
Yeah.
Um, I don't want to decide, so I'm gonna say all the names that are coming to my head. Jordan Childs, Jade Carey, Connor McLean,
That would be a nice story.
That would be fun. Faith.
Faith Torres.
Now
Mm,
we're just naming rosters at this point, but like
yeah, but
There are a lot of great
there's a
options on
lot.
floor.
yeah. I think, and I think too, there has just the tens that we have seen on floor this year um feel a little sporadic to me. Like I don't know why one thing got a 10, but then like the next routine that they did that was honestly better didn't get a 10. And so I I just think that like on any given day you just don't know what's going to happen. But I mean I do understand like Jordan Childs is undeniable on floor and she just feels like she could drop out of the sky and stick a landing. So I'm like I agree. Um, Michigan State ending on floor is interesting. Skyla's never gotten a 10 before. I think that like there's some great tumbling happening on Michigan State, but I don't know. There's others that are very undeniable that I think it's kind of we'll see who shows up.
All around. Are we all in agreement?
Jade,
Jade
Jade Carey.
Carey. I want it for her so badly. I really do.
absolutely.
Okay, so if Jade doesn't get it though,
Okay.
we have to since we all said Jade, we need to
I
come up
know.
with
A
other
Haley back to back would be
contenders.
awesome.
Haley back to back, especially with this with the injury and coming back
Yeah,
from that.
Jordan Bauer.
Uh, Jordan, I was gonna say Faith Torres.
totally.
I
Yeah.
think I think Faith gets a little like under the radar because she like Jordan is kind of the more I don't know if it's Jordan's like attitude on the floor. Even though like when you talk to her, when you see like the ESPN pieces with her, she just is like the sweetest. But just that this her like face like before and after, I feel like Faith kind of runs under the radar a bit, and I wouldn't mind seeing her win.
Okay, something interesting.
Jordan, Jordan could also
Leanne.
win. Leanne,
Yeah, and
Selena.
I was literally just gonna say we haven't mentioned a single Florida athlete this whole time, and they've surprised me honestly this year with the way that Riley McCusker 10 on bars at SECs, right? We have moments that shine. Selena Harris, like there are absolutely moments that have shined. She's multiple vault 10s, right? So, oh gosh,
Grace McCallum.
Callum, garlic chive butter bars.
Avery Neff. What if Avery Neff?
Avery
What if
Neff.
Avery Neff? I thought she was done. We would see her as a sophomore. What if she comes back and wins? Now that's a good
Yeah.
story.
Talk about a
Yeah,
great story.
there's a lot of contenders, but Jade's gonna win, so it doesn't matter.
Right, right.
I do want to do the research to know if she won the all around on day one and day two of regionals, to know if she literally has won the all around in every meet she competed in this whole season, and
I think that's right.
if she won the NCAA title, she would have won out the
Yeah,
entire.
I wonder if anyone's ever gone completely undefeated. Probably, and I don't
Probably.
know. I would love to know.
That research would be intense, I think.
Someone, stats person, can
Yeah,
someone look into it
just
if
so
you're
everyone
listening?
knows, we're not doing it, so someone
No.
will
No.
do it.
If you're a stats person listening, figure it out.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Wow. I can't wait for Jade Carey to be standing on top of the podium for the all around title.
And we're all sobbing.
And
Same.
I'm holding the chainsaw.
Everyone wear your waterproof mascara. Okay. I think we're all fairly aligned on individuals. So shall we jump into session one, two teams advancing? OU, Mizzou, Bama, Florida. Scotty,
Oh, yeah, Florida. I think it's going to be straightforward.
Corey.
I'm gonna go OU Missouri.
That's what I was gonna do too. I don't know. Missouri's given me something, but I I think OU is mad from last year and mad in a good way.
Yeah.
Like we're that's not happening again type of
No.
thing. So I would be, but last year we probably all guessed them and look what happened. So I'm gonna spice things up. I'm gonna go Florida, Missouri.
I'm
Okay.
not ready to see Leanne Wong's final routines. So I hope that Florida makes it. Um, but I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Like we said earlier, if the door opens, it's just gonna be who walks through it. Like who takes
Yeah.
advantage of that little step or that out of bounds or that whatever it might be.
Session two, UCLA, Utah, Michigan State, LSU.
I'm gonna say LSU and Michigan State. I was just so impressed with Michigan State at the regional final. I hope that they go in there with feeling that they've got nothing to lose. So like they're so talented. I think they know they can make four on the floor. So it's like it's kind of a weird position to be in where they know that, but they're also like celebrating having made it and that being such like a historic accomplishment. But I hope they just go in there like they are the lowest ranked team in the group because they are. Even if maybe that doesn't necessarily reflect their true ability, I hope they just go in there thinking that, really believing that, and just going after it. And I mean, it's an impossible thing to predict right now because obviously any of those teams could probably win and they've all put up good scores, but I don't know. I don't expect LSU to do anything crazy. So I think they're through safely. And then I just want Michigan State to just go out balls to the wall and see what happens.
I
I
agree.
I agree. I agree. And it's not because of anything that Utah or UCLA will do. I just think that the picture we saw of how close Michigan State and LSU were at regionals this point in the season, I keep using like my word of the end of this postseason is undeniable. Like that, the teams that are undeniable, the athletes that are undeniable are the ones that are going to rise up at the end. And to me, that performance that happened at the Penn State Regional, it shows what they have. And I just, yeah. Okay, so what this means is LSU, Michigan State, and some version of Florida.
Let's go OU Florida. So OU Florida, MSU, LSU.
I don't know rotation order because I know it's been selected, but LSU, Michigan State, Oklahoma, Florida.
Are we making a prediction about a
Yeah,
winner?
a winner.
Oh, um,
I mean, you guys, could you imagine if Michigan State did it?
No, I
it would be
can't.
wild.
That would be
Uh,
that would be unbelievable.
I mean, you can kind of give it the
In the
similar
best,
storyline of Michigan, whereas I do believe Michigan was ranked in the top three that whole season.
I think they went into nationals as number four.
Or what was it? Number what?
Four.
Four? Okay, so like, I mean, my God, it would be crazy.
Yeah, I think LSU is going to do it again. I don't know. I just think that they have looked so like I love Michigan State, whatever, but I just think they've looked so strong and like kind of unafraid of being the defending champions. We'll see if that holds. It might be a different thing once you get to the actual dance, but to this point, it kind of feels like they've been unafraid of it. They have so much depth. I mean, like um, they, I just think that they're gonna get it done. I mean, we'll see, I guess.
And if OU goes in there loose but confident, watch out.
They're looser than anyone thinks that they are. And I say that based on what I witnessed at regionals in the corrals, what I witnessed at regionals in the press conferences. They have a glue within their own team that is not the robotic, strict, late, like all of that sort of stuff that people think of OU. Like they're connected. Like Danae Fletcher told us this week that like their mantra going into regionals and they're carrying into nationals is iron sharpens iron. And everything that KJ and the athletes that were talking at the press conference were talking about was relationship and connection. And I just feel like if they continue to stick together the way that they do, I think that we could see like the OU that we really know. And I don't know that we have actually seen it this season, right? If they go out there in the four on the floor and they stick three or four vaults, come on. Come
Mm.
on. It's game over. It's game over.
It's so interesting because I don't think this was intentional. I don't think this is like some KJ master plan, but it has been interesting, even though they have returned. I guess they lost Lavasser and Reagan, which are obviously big hits, but they have such a good freshman class. They have a lot of the same core to me in terms of their routines, but they really, even in the regional final where they had a gigantic score, I think 198.45 or something thereabouts, they really haven't put together a full routine and our full competition. And I just think it would be silly. I mean, even though I picked LSU, I think they will win, but I think it would be silly to count them out. I'm not counting OU out because you never count them out, and you never know what KJ's put up on the locker room of someone counting them out that she's going to pull out of the press conference when they win, which was a fun thrill for us a few years back.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, what we're basically saying is that like LSU has what they need. OU has what they need. Michigan State has momentum beyond belief and has what they need. And honestly, if right now I'm not going to bet Florida out, but I don't know that they have the team that they need in order to win the national championship given, the Kayla, Sky, Sloan not firing on all cylinders, the way that that class was recruited and what they were trying to build with this team, which, hear me out, I see what they're trying to build. It's very impressive. Um, but that four on the floor is going to be crazy.
Can't wait.
If it goes,
It's always my favorite meet of the year.
oh yeah. If it goes the way that, we know that it's going to go, because we are always right on this podcast. Um, it's going to be amazing.
Oh,
Regardless of who makes it out, it's going to be an exciting final. The NCAA final is always super close. It's always super fun, and there's always that like, okay, someone could miss a flip lay on beam any second, and who knows what
right.
that will do. So, yeah,
And this is my moment where I'm going to suggest an additional rule to the NCAA where four on the floor teams can adopt like like the all-star shot where they can take on one individual for one routine in four on the floor. So when this gets approved, this figurative moment that gets approved, I just can't. I'm so excited that Maya Lazan is going to be able to step in and compete. I'm so excited that Jade Carey will get to throw down and contribute to a national championship team. Yeah, wouldn't that be fun?
that would be fun.
Like you in the stands, get down here. That moment, come on.
Pitch
Seems like
it.
you've got it all worked out.
I was gonna say, pitch it, right the deck, pitch it.
Training in the back gym all of a sudden walks out with the cloak and the robe. Like, here I come. You didn't know, but I'm actually going in the anchor spot on beam. Double full stick. win.
Done.
Done.
Approved.
I know, unhinged, but whatever.
I
That
like it.
was good. This was
That was
good.
definitely not on my time frame, but I'm glad that we got everything in.
I just want you guys to know that I just got a notification, looked at my phone, and it says, on the floor with Liv and Core. 8 new episodes are available.
Well, enjoy everyone. We put out 20 episodes this week.
Wow.
We can't wait to be down in Fort Worth with everyone. Bring the energy, bring the noise. It's going to be an amazing nationals. You will never forget. Okay. Bye. That's the preview. See you later. Enjoy. Hope you're watching all of our videos. There's a lot of them. Bye.
Bye.